right. Well, I've been looking forward to this.
Me too.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Tell me when you worked at the Abood Law Firm. Well, it was pre-pandemic for sure.
2018, I think.
Yeah.
2019.
When you actually were working in the office, and then you did a little bit of work after that, right?
Yeah.
And it was just one semester?
I think I was here for 2. I was on and off for 2 semesters. And
yeah, I sort of missed the mark on that, didn't I?
It was the start of my legal career.
We have Savannah Huitema, a newly licensed attorney out in the state of New York, right?
Out in New York, yeah.
Graduate of Michigan State.
That's right. 2020.
Pre-law?
I was political theory.
Okay, so you were James Madison.
I was James Madison. Yeah.
Right. And then law school.
Then law school. That's right.
So my thought for you is, what's it like when you shoot for the stars and you only hit stars? Huh?
It hurts.
What?
It hurts to only hit the stars.
Well, I mean, most people say, well, if you shoot for the stars, maybe you'll hit the moon, right?
Yeah.
But all of your shots have been dead aim, right?
I think I've gotten really lucky.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Have you?
Yeah. And I think my luck is that I keep meeting really great people who are willing to mentor me and give me time. You were one of them.
Well, I don't know about that. I certainly didn't spend as much time as I should have, but it was great to have you here. But
yeah.
You you are born and raised in Kalamazoo?
Born and raised.
Yeah.
Portage.
Yeah. Kalamazoo area.
Kalamazoo area, that's right.
You're a twin.
I'm a twin sister.
So sister Sophia.
That's right.
And
model, artist.
And brother Christian, right?
Brother is Christian.
And mom and dad are sort of alpha dogs.
Alpha dogs? How do you mean?
They're high functioning, accomplished people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They're fantastic people.
Right.
Yeah.
And dad is a pilot, and mom was.
She stayed at home. She took care of us.
Well, I remember she used to be airlines steward.
Yeah, back in the day. That's how they first connected. It's because she was stewardess. Flight attendant.
I think in
PCU.
Maybe I remember this wrong, but I think in 1990 was it Northwest she was with?
She was with American, and so was my dad.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
So I thought maybe in 1990-ish, we flew out to San Francisco, and she was our stewardess.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
was it just serendipity, or you saw her on the plane and you did a double take?
Well, we
That's
knew
joy.
Somehow we knew because Jerome was on the plane.
Okay.
So Jerome was, Jerome knew her and we knew her.
Yeah.
Not, and God, we were just jokesters the whole, just whatever. It was a long flight for us because we hadn't. But maybe I'm not remembering that right, but it seemed like she just thought we were losers or something.
I mean, you have to make the flight entertaining somehow if it's long.
Right. And so you are born, how old are you?
I'm 27.
27.
Yeah.
And go through life. Dad is a pilot. Mom is sort of stay at home, but always doing something, right?
Yeah, she was always she was an interior designer earlier, and so when we were growing up, she was always flipping houses or fixing houses up.
Right.
And she's still doing that.
And your mom was the grandmother was real estate.
Jenny
right?
was in real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And so, not really lawyers.
No.
In the family, right?
No.
And who was it that decided, you and your sister should be models?
We got scouted.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, when we were 17, we got scouted.
So high school.
Yeah, we were high school going into college, and there was a mother agent in Michigan who saw us on Instagram.
Okay.
And she reached out and she said, "Have you guys ever thought about doing this? What do you think? Take a crack at it." And was flattered, but didn't think it was real.
Right.
And
are you playing sports at all? Are you?
I was a big track runner.
Okay.
And so
you're tall and athletic.
Yeah. I did track. And so she reached out to us and thought it was a scam. I didn't think it was real. We met up with her. She took we got pictures taken of us, and then she sends it out.
You always sort of, I mean, you hear the stories of how many so-called agents there are out there that are
Really scary.
bad actors, right?
Yes.
And in your case, especially if you're on Instagram,
Yeah.
you know, at 17, that you probably have a lot of weirdos
Totally.
reaching out to you.
Yeah, there were some red flags, certainly. It turns out Dawn, she was legitimate. And I got signed. My first contract was in Paris. Maybe 3 months after that, they signed
In high
both of
school,
us. This was going into my
freshman year?
yeah.
Okay.
So that following summer, I moved to Paris. Sophia and I both moved to Paris. And that's when...
Alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
No mom, no dad. It's
No
probably
mom, no dad.
some kind of chaperone, right? Or no? Not really?
We had agents there who, in
Okay.
theory, are are taking care of that, other than your chaperone, in theory. But you're pretty much by yourself.
And do they give you like a starting bonus, or is it your parents saying? I mean,
They'll give you
in advance.
you're
or-
you're an independent contractor,
right.
so they're not giving you. They'll give you an advance maybe, and they'll say, "Here's money if you need to buy groceries, etc."
Right.
Which you do. You need to eat,
Right.
and maybe they'll front a month of your apartment cost, and then you just have to get lucky, really. If you start working, you start booking jobs, you're running around Paris going to castings all day. That's the job for the first month.
Casting as opposed to auditions, right? So you're
Yeah.
not reading a script. You're just
No.
they're just doing pictures, right?
It's just doing pictures. Yeah.
Maybe changing outfits. and
Yeah.
hair and-
Or you're walking. They'll say it'll
Okay.
typically be like picture at the end of the room. There'll be maybe the creative director, the designer. They're all at a table.
Mm-hmm.
It's very sinister.
objectifying. right?
Yeah. And you go in and you have a card, and it has your name on it and your measurements and a picture of you. You give them the card. They ask you maybe what country you're from. Sometimes I'd say Canada because I don't like Americans. And they'll say, "Okay, can you do a walk for us?" And you'll walk back and forth. Okay, great. Thank you. And then maybe they call, maybe they don't.
And so how'd you do?
Well, I did well. Sophia did too, and it kind of took off from there. I booked a couple small jobs, and it just kind of, you get a little more visibility, and it just snowballs.
And so you're working.
Yeah, I was modeling.
At 18,
Yeah.
I don't know what I was doing, caddying, I guess, and playing golf at, a block, 2 blocks away from my house. But you're in Paris alone with your sister,
I was.
right?
Yeah.
From Portage.
That's right.
I hadn't really seen the world, my guess would be, right? Although you could travel with your dad because of his status, right?
Right. But nothing like that. I don't think I think I'd been to Europe maybe once prior to that. And so I was scared shitless.
And you're walking the streets,
Yeah.
right? And, a problem arises.
What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, you call mom and dad, right? But, they're half a world away.
Right. I think I was too young and unaware to even have the knowledge that something could go wrong. I just knew that I was there, and I was going to do every day was just essentially my agent would send me a schedule the night before, and it'd be an email with 10 addresses
Okay.
of different brands and the stores they were in.
Paris is an international city, but
Yeah.
are you able to get around there speaking English? I was in Berlin, and English almost felt like a first language.
It is in Berlin, yeah. It's ubiquitous.
Yeah.
You can get around with English. I had to learn enough French to be able to communicate and say what I needed to say. I think the difference between France and Berlin is they don't want to speak English with you in
Right.
France. In Berlin, they're happy to.
Yeah.
They're like, they want to speak.
Right. It seemed like everybody spoke it. But tell me, you're going to Michigan State in the fall,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was never a question of.
No, there's
Co-
never a question.
So what is this, like a summer job, or?
Yeah,
I mean-
kind of.
Because most people are like open houses hanging out with their friends, doing that last time to the lake trip, and kind of hanging out with their senior friends
Yeah.
because everybody's going to go off to school.
Right.
And you miss out on all that.
Yeah. And it was the same was true when we were going through school, because I would leave a lot to go shoot
Right.
wherever I would have to go off to. And then I would also spend summers in New York, because I would be modeling in New York. I'd be going around. But I think I saw it as so cool and so novel that it never felt like I was
Missing
losing
out.
something.
Not
No, I
missing
just
it
thought it
out.
was the coolest thing in the world.
And you liked it. Or not.
Generally, yeah. I mean, there were some parts about it that were, as you can imagine, where it was very objectifying. It can be very dark, certain corners of that industry. But on the whole, I got to travel the world and I got to go all over the place from the time I was 17, 18. And I'm still, up until now, so it's been 10 years of getting to travel and to meet interesting people and to get the exposure that I would have never gotten in a million years otherwise.
And I assume you've experienced a lot of failure and rejection or what.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And tell me what that's like. Can you describe some? I mean, I assume that when you go to audition, it's a job you want,
Right. Oh, yeah, of course.
and
They call modeling, or the agents call modeling, the business of rejection,
right,
because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get what you're going for. You're not going to get the job. You're going to
Right.
get turned away. You go to one casting and you're too thin, and then you go to the next casting and you're too big, or you're too short. You're always too something,
right,
and you have to get a very thick skin and sort of detach from that. And I think I had to build a very strong sense of self and value internally very quickly to be able to handle that constant rejection. And I think it was okay, because it prepared me for the work I'm doing now. I think it's very hard to hurt my feelings now. After you do that for 10 years,
right,
it takes a lot
right.
for me to feel offended or bothered by something.
And did you think it was? I assume that your core group of friends are all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Or not,
I
or
mean,
not.
I had my college friends who I'm still close to,
Right,
and now I have a lot of close friends that are across industries. They're
right,
founders, or they're attorneys, or they're bankers, et cetera. They do all sorts of things. But I still do have a lot of close friends who are modeling full time.
But when you're in that sort of summer of,
Yeah.
post high school in Paris, you're living with your sister, right?
I lived by myself.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I lived by myself. She was in the city, but we didn't live together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's even tougher, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. I was alone.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Why
Yeah.
didn't you guys live together?
I think it was just the way that it shook out with the agency provides you with housing. They have
Okay.
they rent apartments, and they own some of them as well. And it shook out that there was a room for her here, and then there was a 1-bedroom here, and so we ended up splitting up. Yeah.
And did you ever find it difficult that you and your sister are often sort of competing for you're in the same profession, doing the same work, and
No, not at all, because she and I do we would go to the same castings often, but what we ended up doing as the time progressed and as our careers were advancing, we started booking very different jobs.
right.
So
I mean, you're twins, but you're not obviously.
we look nothing
identical.
alike. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I was
I
doing
wouldn't say nothing, but you definitely in the modeling industry, you're probably very
different. Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah. So I was doing runway, and I was doing a lot of Italian high fashion, and she books a lot more. She books very commercial work. So she does a lot of catalogs, bridal, which I'm never going to book anything like that. So
And you come back and you start at Michigan State,
yep.
And did you know then what you wanted to study? Because you've seen, since I've known you, you seem very sort of driven and had a path. And,
Yeah.
I mean, did you start right out in James Madison?
I started doing general political philosophy, political science, and ended up switching once. I didn't know James Madison existed. So I switched my second year.
Right.
And I think around that time, maybe a little later, that's when I started working for you. Because then I started getting the sense of, oh, maybe I want to become an attorney. Maybe I want to do this.
Right.
And that was around the time I made the switch and started thinking about it. So I didn't know, I didn't go into law school thinking, or undergrad thinking I wanted to be a lawyer.
And James Madison is not the easiest road to get sort of a political science pre-law bachelor's degree. I mean, at Michigan State, it's the harder road,
It's the harder road.
right?
Yeah.
A lot of writing
Yes. Yeah.
and a lot of high caliber people that you're competing against,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's right.
A lot of people that want to go to law school and go to Michigan and, you know, write really well.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was the best education. I think that was a better education than Harvard.
Really?
Hands down. Yeah. Because the classrooms are so small, the professors care a lot, and you get a lot of, because you'll have maybe 30 kids in a class,
Right.
you get a lot of individualized attention. And the professors took time. I became a really good writer there because the professors care enough to take the time to sit down and they'll mark up your whole essay and walk you through it and show you how to structure an argument, how to make a narrative clean, how to tell a story, how to think through problems. And that prepared me for law school. And I learned how to write there much more than I did at Harvard.
And, you know, you become friends with other people that want to go to law school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of your good friends was also a model.
Anissa, yeah, my best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I met her. I don't really know her, but her dad is a lawyer, right?
Yeah, he is.
Tell me what her last name is.
Dagger.
Dagger.
Ollie
So-
Dagger.
Yeah, so I run
Yeah.
into him from time to time. He's down in Macomb County, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's good to see him. But are the two of you then, is she a model when you meet her at Michigan State?
Yeah. So Anissa is my best friend, and we met, and she was also just starting to get into it. Our careers were growing at the same time. She ended
Okay.
up having an insanely successful modeling career. She's done Vogue covers and Tiffany campaigns, and she's killed it. And simultaneously, as we were having that career journey together in tandem, she was also making the steps to go to law school. So
Right.
she started James Madison. We started a pre-law organization together
Right.
and worked on that together for years. And then we went through the whole process of the LSAT, applying,
Right.
doing the whole thing we did together.
So at Michigan State, they had no pre-law organization?
They did, but they didn't have one that was. They had a frat, if I remember. I think it was called Cappy, and that was the pre-law fraternity.
Okay.
But they didn't have anything that felt more. Insular is the wrong word. It didn't feel like very much of a community,
Right.
and it didn't feel as intimate. So we wanted something where.
Well, a fraternity would be generally men
Exactly.
only, right?
Yeah. And they let women in, but there was nothing that was just all women.
Right.
And so that's what we started.
An all-women.
All women pre-law
Pre-law.
society. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I think you came and spoke
Yes,
at
I
it
did.
actually.
I did. I don't remember it being all women, but maybe I was just oblivious.
It was all women. Yeah.
And there was, I want to say 50 or 60 people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a big group.
And
And
is that still in existence today?
yeah, there's, I want to say 6 or 7 chapters now at different schools.
Oh, really? And
Yeah.
what hoops did you have to jump through to set that up?
There's some, if I remember, some basic admin stuff for the school, getting approvals, getting some funding, and then it was just marketing it and messaging and getting people in the door and trying to create a culture.
And there were 3 or 4 of you that were the leaders of it at the beginning?
Me and Anissa. It was just us. And we found we eventually had got a great group together. Then once you show the proof of concept, like this can actually work, then people will buy in and they'll be willing to help. But for maybe 6 months, we just pushed and tried to get great speakers in. We tried to market it in such a way that people would get interested and want to show up. And then from there, it's easy because everyone's building relationships with each other and wants it to be an active sort of club. So it was just getting it off the ground at first. That was the hard part. And then it was great.
And at some point, you realize probably pretty quickly that law school is definitely a viable thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to be in James Madison and be around all those people. And when I say those people, like
the type.
There's so many people that are going to law school, right? At James Madison, or they're talking about law. I mean, the only real other option is to be some kind of aide at the Capitol or in
That's
DC.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Everybody is like law school driven or legally driven, right?
Exactly.
So, so when do you start thinking I'm going to go to law school?
So, after that first modeling contract, when I came back to the States, I got signed to an agency called Wilhelmina Models. And once I signed to Wilhelmina, I remember meeting who was their general counsel at the time. And I'm trying to remember her name. Marilee Holmes is her name. And I was so impressed by her and I didn't understand what she was doing, but I knew that she was kind of holding the whole place together, and it looked interesting and dynamic, and she was just such a badass, and I was so taken with it. And that was kind of my first spark of, this is something. I don't know what this is, but I want to learn more about this.
Right.
And then I had the incentive to figure out what was going on, what that job would entail, what would this actually mean for me, and then how would I need to execute to get there and get into a good school to where I could practice and actually do this.
Right. And, when do you start studying for the LSAT then?
I think I spent maybe 6 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you got another year of Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan State, and taking classes, hanging out. I was in a sorority here. Modeling, yeah. Doing the whole thing. I took the LSAT and did well, but then I took some time off. So I took some time off I deferred my admission, and I took time off to model full time for a couple of years.
Yeah, because I remember you when you worked at the firm.
Yeah.
And you had a spring break, and somebody said Savannah isn't sure whether she can work here over spring break because she has an opportunity to go to Paris and model. Maybe, am I remembering that right?
Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't spring break, but it was some kind of break. And I was like, is she out of her mind?
Yeah.
Go to Paris.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Go to Paris.
Yeah. Yeah. I was always traveling around that time. Whenever I'd get a break, I'd be in Europe.
Yeah.
Or I'd be in New York and I'd be working.
And that's way better than, I said she can come back here and work any time. But go to Paris.
Oh, that was sweet of you.
What?
That was kind of you.
I don't even know if I said it to you. I can't remember it was just like that. That's not even a question, was it?
I don't know. But you advocated for me, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. And so, that's probably not the common path for Michigan State. I mean, besides your best friend and your sister, there's nobody doing that, right? At Michigan State. I shouldn't say nobody, but it's definitely in the 1%, right?
It's a unique set of circumstances, definitely. I don't know anyone else who did it.
And just so it's clear, it's not that you're just going to Michigan State, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or James Madison. You obviously did very well, right?
Tried.
Well, I mean, you must have done well.
I did well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not easy to do.
Do well at James Madison?
Well, have a full-time job,
Mm-hmm.
professional career, where most people would say, and I don't have any idea, but you were probably making enough money that you didn't need to go to school.
Yeah. Yeah. It put me through law school
Right.
too. So.
And you know, and yet you still have the discipline
Mm-hmm.
to come back to Michigan State, and it's not multiple choice questions you're taking at James Madison. There's no way to fake it and make it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it did require a lot of discipline, but I knew early on that I wanted to create a life for myself that was exceptional, and I wanted to be able to put myself in a position to be meeting as many interesting people as I possibly could, and eventually wanted to have a job where I could solve interesting problems in a creative way and get to see as much as I could. So I thought from a very early age, I was thinking, what would the path need to look like? What steps would I have to take to be able to create that sort of environment for myself?
So you're not thinking, I hope I meet a nice guy and get married and
I'm sure one day I will.
stay at home. You're thinking, you know.
Yeah. And that'll be great when that happens too. Like
I'm not being critical.
No.
I'm just saying you're actually strategically thinking,
Yeah.
how do I meet people? How do I,
Exactly. Yeah.
how do I have an interesting,
Yeah.
and there's no acceptance of moderation, really. I
Totally.
mean, you're in 100% on
Yeah.
academics and the modeling, and you've experienced a lot of failure, and yet
Yes.
it doesn't destroy you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, right. And I think I'm so early I'm late in my modeling career, but so early in my legal career. But I think if you want to be good, if you want to be excellent at anything, what I'm learning or what I've learned so far is that you have to be 100% in.
Is there an excellence in modeling? Like, I mean, do you say, God, I wasn't very good today when you, I don't know, walking down the, can you judge yourself and your performance and get better?
I think it's a test of I don't think there's the getting to the threshold point where that can become a question is luck. Like where you can even ask yourself, was I excellent today? You have to have cleared some hurdles of people just saying, oh, we want you in this
Right,
show, or we
right.
want you on this campaign or whatever. Then I think you can, in the sense that it's more of an endurance test. Like how many planes can you handle? How much sleep can you lose? How on the ball can you be? You have to be in shape all the time, and you're pushing yourself in a physical way all the time, because one, you have to be moving always. You're always having to be somewhere, and interacting with different people in different sets. So there's an endurance element to it. So I think you can be excellent, but getting there on like a different career requires this initial yes, or this initial hurdle that is really out of your control. And then when you get there, I think the answer is yes.
And are you able to say, on this day I was excellent, or I was, I crushed it,
I think you can go home and there's some satisfaction. I don't think you'll ever get the satisfaction that you feel, I'm sure you feel like when you win a case or when you solve a really complicated issue.
Right.
Or someone relies on you and you feel like, wow, I was a really good friend or a really good partner or lawyer or whatever it is that day.
Right.
I don't think you get the same psychic fulfillment, but you definitely feel like, okay, that was cool. Like that was cool. I got to do that.
Yeah. And did you meet the people? Have you met the people from the modeling career that, you were hoping?
That I would mean.
Yeah, like the connections and
Yeah. Yeah. And now what's great is a lot of people that I met in the fashion world are now looking for a lawyer,
right.
or they're looking to get connected in some way, or they'll have a legal issue. And now I can field those sort of things.
You made a significant commitment to the LSAT.
I did, yeah.
And that's when I heard that you wanted to go to Harvard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you had other schools that you wanted to go to. I
Yeah.
don't remember whether Harvard and maybe Michigan and
Yeah.
Yale and
Yeah. Yeah. I remember talking to you about this.
I do too.
Yeah. When I was gearing up to start studying for it, I think Mitch also was.
When would that have been?
I don't know. And I was starting to think about it. I think Mitch had just taken it.
2018 or
Yeah.
2019?
Probably, I think Mitch took it probably 2018.
Yeah. I think Mitch graduated in 2018 and then took that next year off
Okay.
to study for the LSAT.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's when he was studying for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you, not only did you study, but you almost like formed a company, right?
I did have a company. I did. I started a tutoring business.
Right. With Anissa.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, tell me what your mindset was. I mean, you must have done, well at Michigan State, above a 3.5,
Yeah.
above a 3.7,
Yeah.
4-point.
I wasn't a 4-point, but I was close.
Yeah. And so I didn't even know that when you were working at our firm. I probably would have given you more work to do. and you decide, you're gonna go, for the best, right?
Absolutely.
Michigan, Yale, Harvard. Was there another one? Northwestern?
I applied to Northwestern. I applied to Columbia, U of M, Harvard. I think Penn, NYU.
Mm-hmm.
I just blanketed.
And I remember saying, what are you worried about? You're going to be great. You don't need to, you don't need to go to that kind of law school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
Wasn't that our conversation?
Yeah, yeah. You did say
I
that.
felt bad about it because I was
Really?
like, yeah, I was like, you're going to be great no matter what. So don't feel like all you got to do is become a lawyer,
Yeah,
right?
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, and that must have been like, I'm going to show him or something like that.
Yeah, that's why I did all of it. I'm gonna get him.
But you studied, and you almost must have taken it like a full-time job.
Oh, it wasn't a full-time job, but I did go pretty hard because I knew that was the key. Like if I could just get. I remember you said
you had the other part. You had the grades.
Yeah, the
right?
grades.
And
Yeah.
and they're really two factors: grades and
also.
LSAT.
Yep.
And then everything else is, a lot of people focus on the everything else and they miss
Yeah.
the grades and the LSAT.
Totally.
right?
Because that's how the reason it's so important is because that's how the schools get ranked. So they take the average of the LSAT scores and the GPAs of their incoming
Right.
class. And then they have to report that. So then there's this, I think it's US News and World ranking. I could be
Right.
wrong. And then that's how they do it. So that's why those numbers are so important. And then the rest is just kind of details.
Right. And so how do you do on the LSAT?
I got it I needed to break a 170.
Yeah.
So I broke a 170.
And I don't know where that is. Is that in the 99 percentile?
Yeah. Yeah.
And because what would have been your number one pick?
Harvard.
Yeah.
For law school, it was Harvard.
Right.
Yeah.
And
It's definitely Harvard.
when do you graduate from Michigan State?
2020. And then I
So
took
right
2 years to
during the-
model.
Right during the pandemic.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Right during the pandemic.
It was Cassius Winston, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Huge at the time.
you go over to Europe for 2 years.
So I was between Europe and New York. So I was
Okay.
based in New York, but I was spending a ton of time, mostly in Milan and a lot of random cities. So I'd be in Edinburgh or the Barbados, or I'd be wherever they would send me that week I would be, but I was based in New York City.
Is that a full-time job? or
Modeling?
more? Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, is it with travel and everything? Is it like
If you're lucky, yes.
60 to 70 hours a week?
If you're lucky, you are shooting all the time.
Yeah,
And you're
well, I'm
traveling all
not
the time.
asking about luck. I'm asking,
Yes.
well, for
Yes.
you.
Yeah, it was full time. Yeah,
And
nonstop.
did you love it?
I love the travel.
You did?
Yeah, I love the travel. The nitty gritty of the castings and all of that stuff. No, but nobody likes that.
Are you alone all the time?
On a set, there's a million people on a set.
Yeah, okay. Okay, you can walk into anywhere, any hotel, and there's
You're
hundreds.
alone. Yeah.
You're alone, even
Yes.
though there's tons of people. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you're around your friends or your family or
Yeah.
your boyfriend or,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
do you do at night?
I read a lot. And
Really?
I don't mind being by myself. I actually prefer it.
Okay.
So I love to hang out and have dinner with friends and chill out. But at the end, I don't mind going back.
But,
and
unless your
hanging.
friend is a model,
yeah, a lot of them were.
and you say, I'm going to Barbados this weekend,
Yeah.
and you pay for it, who's going with you? Like,
I was by myself.
right.
Yeah.
And what kind of life is that like? I mean, how would you characterize that phase of your life? Was it like a learning thing or,
I learned how to really like being alone with myself and how to be my own best friend. And yeah, it was a lot of learning, but it was a lot of learning about who I was and what I liked. And I know myself so well now.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I like. I know what I don't like. I know what I want. I know what I don't want.
Do you know you're going to Harvard?
At that time?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd gotten in.
Okay. Where else did you get in?
Everywhere I applied, I got in besides NYU.
Oh, really?
Really? Yeah. They said no.
Really? Stick it to
Okay.
them.
Stick it to them.
So unlike modeling, where it's a 1 to 10 ratio, your law school was the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah, I got
6 or 7 to 1.
Yeah,
right?
that's
6.
right. Yeah. So I knew at the time. So I also had that to look forward to.
And you deferred
I deferred.
for 2 years.
So, yeah, I worked for 2 years in between because I started law school in, I guess it was, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I started law school. And
And tell me about the LSAT business. I mean,
the tutoring business?
yeah, the tutoring business. Did you actually make any money or
I made a lot of money doing that.
you did?
I made a lot of money doing that.
And what was it, hands-on, or was it like online, like where you'd tell people, like, what was the secret to that business?
I never scaled it. And I think if I had not gone to school, I probably would have just focused on that and I would have hired people.
What were you doing? What were you
Oh,
doing?
day to day.
Like, what was the business? Like, if
I
I said I need help with my LSAT, what?
I would get on a call
Right.
or Zoom or whatever was the time, and I would walk people through questions, through LSAT questions. Or they'd come and then I'd say, okay, this is where you're weak. This is where you're strong. You need to go do X, Y, and Z to improve. Take this practice test and then come back, and then we'll walk through the problems together, and we'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was actively me teaching.
Right.
I would do it every day, and then it was just I had to find a good place for how much can I actually charge, because I knew people charged ridiculous amounts of money for LSAT tutors.
Right.
And once I figured that out, once I got wise to that, then it was, I would do it for a couple hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just bringing in a crazy amount of money just to kind of hang. I mean, I was teaching, but
Right. And were you
was
good?
great.
Were you good at it?
I think so. I got people into grade schools.
And was Anissa doing the same? Like, were you guys sort of partners, or was it both of you independently?
We were partners in the sense that we would talk through it together, and we would kind of bounce ideas off of each other, but we both had our individual client bases, and it would grow. We were growing the businesses separately.
I got you.
Yeah. And then I'd help people write essays and stuff like that to get in.
That's interesting. I
Yeah.
don't. I didn't study for the LSAT at all.
Really?
A bunch of my friends were going to take it, and I walked in, and
Really?
I had never seen questions like that.
So you
I
didn't
couldn't.
even look at it.
Not only that, I couldn't finish some of the questions. Like my
Okay.
reading, because some of the questions were long.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I finished the test. But the whole thing about, if you're at a table of 8 and you're across, I mean, that has nothing to do with
Yeah.
law school, does it?
No, it's like, yeah, those kind of questions, like if two people to your right pay $10 and the person to your left pays 12 and this person, like those crazy logic games
Yes.
have
Yeah.
nothing to do. I don't know what, I think maybe it's some inertia of just, this is what we've been doing forever.
And you've gotta pencil it out, or I don't even know how.
But did you do that when you were taking the test?
No. I was like, what? I mean, and I scored like an average,
Okay.
but
That's really impressive for never
no,
studying.
it's not that impressive. I mean, it's like
You didn't
Kevin.
study.
It's like that Kevin Hart thing when he went and took the ACT or whatever.
Yeah.
And all of his friends were going to college, and he had to go to, I got into Wayne, but my grades weren't very good. But man, that test, I couldn't imagine studying having the discipline to study for that.
Well, it didn't stop you from
No. I mean,
anything at all.
You can, but the thing is, I always say, if you can become great at one thing, you can become great at something else.
You think that's true?
Yeah, like the discipline it takes to be like, say, great at modeling.
Mm-hmm.
If there's such a thing as being great at, like, these are all the things, and it's really not outcome determinative. There's a lot of processes that you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, then maybe you can have the discipline to get good grades, or you can have the discipline to hunker down and study
Yeah.
for the LSAT. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
they're
It's transitive.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no Malcolm Gladwell study or somebody who studied that to say, yes, highly successful people are generally successful at more things than other people. I don't know.
Do you think there's a trait that most, if not all, highly successful people do have?
Depending on the areas of what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a certain amount of people that are highly successful that are not risk adverse.
Mm-hmm.
They're not afraid to fail. They're like, and a certain amount of them don't have any other options.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they don't have to be super smart, and they don't have to be, great at what they do, but they don't really have an option to do anything else, and they're willing to take on risk,
Mm-hmm.
especially guys in the real estate world
Yeah.
that have made a lot of money. It's like, what are you doing? You're buying this building that nobody wants, and you're taking on all kinds of debt, and you don't have the
Mm-hmm.
money to pay it back, but they don't, and they do it, and all of a sudden it was like, man, that was a no-brainer.
Right. In
You know what I
hindsight.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think it's some element of having enough risk tolerance to just say,
Yeah,
okay,
or not
let's go
being
in.
able to evaluate risk. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, not having the ability, like, not to over analyze it.
Yeah, just or be able to make a quick decision and say, this is what we're doing, and stick
Yeah,
to it
yeah.
and move.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but for you, you say you suffered rejection, but I don't know if you've ever suffered failure.
That's
You
an
know,
interesting point.
And
Suffer
rejection is sometimes a motivator, and failure can sometimes be devastating, But tell me what it's like sitting in Harvard Law School for the first day. What class are you in?
My first class was property. Maybe you remember this case. It's called Plouffe v. Putnam. They taught us 2 cases the first day in property. One was a case where there's this wild storm on the open sea.
This guy's on a boat, and he has to dock his boat because what's he gonna do? His
Right.
family's in the boat, but then in docking the boat, he screws this guy's dock up.
Mm-hmm.
And then the question is, how does he have to pay? Is he trespassing? And then the whole necessity doctrine comes out of that.
First day.
Yeah. And then do you remember the fox chasing case where there's two
Yeah, but
guys?
they shoot the fox on,
Yes.
on somebody else's property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then whose fox is it?
Right.
Uh,
Yeah,
some-
that's the first,
Yep.
one of the first cases of property law, right?
Yeah. And then the first criminal law case we did, it was two guys or three guys maybe on a boat, and they're stranded at sea, and they have no food, no water. Weeks go by, and then two of the guys gang up, join together, kill the weaker guy, and they eat him.
Oh, that's a real case?
Yes. And then this was a common law case. This was a British case.
Oh.
And
What was it, like a duress or something?
yeah, exactly. It was like, was this okay? Was this necessary?
Like the moral
Exactly.
morality, first day of
Yeah.
criminal law, they're gonna debate
Retribution
Right.
versus rehabilitation, and what do we do? And I think the way that they ruled on that, they said this was wrong. You shouldn't have killed the guy. They got in trouble for it
Yeah,
when they
got
came back.
convicted.
Yeah, they got convicted for it.
Well, tell me, you find an apartment in Harvard? Are you living in like a dorm or?
I lived in an apartment there.
Yeah.
I lived with a woman who is a PhD in neuroscience. Brilliant. We got connected through a mutual friend. Emma is her name. And that was actually great to live with a neuroscientist because I could come home and disconnect and
Right,
not talk
right.
about the law
Right.
at night.
But were you walking to class or?
I lived right by. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
in
lived.
Cambridge or?
I lived in
across the-
Cambridge.
Yeah.
I live in Cambridge.
So you're walking to that first day of school,
Mhm.
right?
Yep. See it.
And you're 24-ish,
I must have been 23 or 24. Must have been.
right?
Yeah.
So 6 years earlier,
Mm-hmm.
you're in high school,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And somebody notices you on Instagram,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you had been to Europe one time, and now you've traveled all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
You've graduated. You've had, a successful business or two, a professional career plus a successful business.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any part of you that thinks, how the fuck am I in Harvard right now?
Every
What?
second.
Really?
Every step. Yeah. I was shocked.
And you walk into the classroom and you look around and,
It's the smartest people in the world,
right.
and the professors are geniuses,
And,
of course.
And some of them come from deep, long family
That's exactly right.
tradition of,
Yeah.
there was never a question that they would be going to Harvard at some point, right?
Yeah, and a lot of times their parents are judges
Right.
or very successful attorneys,
Right.
and
Nobody from Kalamazoo or Portage, probably.
no, it was very uncommon to have students who'd gone to state schools.
Oh, right.
There wasn't much of that at
Right.
all.
Right.
So I think I had two other kids in my section that had gone to state universities.
And are they using the Socratic method at Harvard when you're there?
Yes.
Okay. And
Yeah.
on the first day,
Oh, you're so scared.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do they call you?
I'm trying to remember my first time getting cold called. I think it was my torts professor who I ended up being very close with. And
Which would have been second year or second
my
semester?
first semester.
Oh, you had torts.
Yeah.
So you had property, criminal law, and torts.
And civil procedure.
Oh, wow.
Very
so
hard for me.
full load.
Full on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And legislation and regulation also.
Just to throw that in
Just
there.
to throw that in there. I hated that one. Yeah, the cold calling is nerve-wracking because you don't know anyone in the classroom yet. So you need to establish that you're not an idiot and you're so eager to prove yourself to your classmates.
In the Socratic method.
Yes. Yeah. So when you get called on, it's like you just black out and you hope that whatever you said for that 20 seconds
didn't
20
sound
seconds.
ridiculous.
20 seconds.
20 seconds is your first go, your first bat.
Oh, really?
And then they'll come back at you and they'll keep going. But that's going to set the stage. Like if you go belly up there, you say something dumb.
Yeah, because I don't know if you found this to be true, but you study in groups, right? Or no?
Often. Yeah.
And you really want to have a high level group.
Yes. Yeah, you really do.
Because you don't want to get, stuck explaining to somebody what theft is.
Exactly.
Right? Because
Yeah.
that's not probably going to be a question.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know, all the elements
Totally.
to be able to answer,
Yeah. Yeah, you want to get a group that's getting so in the weeds
Right.
on the legal arguments and the issues. And yeah, if you're with somebody who doesn't know the elements of the tort,
You don't want to necessarily be teaching.
no.
You want to be learning.
Well, also those are the people who you're typically splitting the work on an outline for an exam.
Right.
So if you get a weak link, that outline's not going to be what you need to do well on that exam, and then you're in a tricky place.
Yeah.
So it's important. Yeah, early on, it's important to figure that out.
And is there any time while you're in law school that you think, hey, maybe this isn't for me?
I don't think I ever thought it wasn't for me. I loved it.
Did you?
I loved law school.
I mean, you know that right away, right?
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah.
mean, you get over the nerves. You can always be worried and stressed about
Yeah.
grades, and
Totally.
but you're sitting there and you have I assume 200 pages of criminal law that you have to read or property, right? And
That's
you
right.
know whether this is, and you're reading the cases, and you're learning about whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know pretty early on.
I thought it was so cool. This
Really?
is, yeah, because this is the way that we're all choosing to structure reality, and this is how we're making the law is how we're all making sense of the world together, and it's the glue. This is how everything's functioning, and being able to think through those problems, I knew right away that I was, and also the common law system and judge-made law and the way that it's iterative, and you can sort of trace the moral progression of a society over time and of the U.S. over time, just based on how does the law change, where does it go, how do judges rule.
The precedent and the history. and,
Yes, yeah,
the movements that have, some of them have come through legislative, but some of them have only made inroads through the judiciary.
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And being able to see those traces of how those decisions play out over time, and how you can see how the moral thinking of a society changes
Right.
based on how those judges are ruling and things get pushed in certain directions.
Right.
And I think that's just the genius of a common law system. And so I loved it right away. Loved it.
And were you thinking, this is, did you have an image of the type of lawyer that you want to be when you're in law school? Like, did you think I'm going to do X or Y, or I want to be a courtroom lawyer, I want to be transactional, I want to...
I started transactional. So I was at Cravath for my summer program, and I was doing M&A, and realized quickly that I loved the firm, and I had such respect for the
Where was
lawyers
that?
there. That was in New York.
Yeah.
And they are the most prestigious M&A law firm in the world, if not
M&A is obviously
mergers and
isn't it?
acquisitions.
Right.
Yeah. So I
And
was
then
doing that.
you're doing it in New York, and it's a big firm, and it's not like mom and pop shoe repair. It's
No.
big companies that we would all know the names of,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yeah. But the work itself was, I think when you become a partner, they have a great time. But when you're getting to do the strategy aspect of it and you have more control, I think it's fun. But
The deal making part is probably great.
sure. But the 7 years to get there, the 8 years to
Yeah.
get there, I don't know. I didn't see it.
What? So you're in law school in the 22, 23, 24.
Yep. Graduated in 25. Just graduated.
So yeah. So you're watching all the things that are going on in D.C. and all the new changes. Is that of something of debate there in Harvard?
Constantly. It was.
I mean, it was a great time to be in law school, right?
Yeah. It was at such a rapid clip too. All the decisions, like right when I started, that was Dobbs, I think.
The Dobbs decision.
The Dobbs decision, yeah. And so there was already all sorts of you're always mired in some debate, and then you're around people who really care about politics and who care about the law and who care about they're policy people.
Right.
Like a lot of the Harvard students came to law school after working on the Hill.
Right.
And so that's all I want to talk
And
about.
I think they've been in the real world.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
They've seen the real world.
Yeah. So you get to have those debates and have those conversations
And the
constantly.
Dobbs decision was.
That was the decision where the abortion decision.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that a huge, post Roe versus Wade, probably the biggest decision, which basically said that, it was a state issue, right?
Exactly right. It kicked it back to the states.
Right. Which has been, I don't know what year Roe versus Wade was. It the early 70s or 60s? But in
It's
any
70s,
event,
yeah.
so close to 40 years,
Mm-hmm.
it's been a federal protected right under the 14th Amendment.
That's exactly right.
And
Yep.
the Supreme Court, with Coney Barrett and the other ones, kind of pushed the balance of power to say it's a state issue,
Yeah.
which can be a legitimate debate on many issues,
Totally.
right?
Totally.
And so that had to be a great time to be at Harvard, right?
Yeah, for sure. And the thing about that decision that was so startling was the same reasoning that they used to say that this is a state issue and it's not protected constitutionally.
Right.
Is the same logic they were using the same logic that was propping up or is propping up gay marriage, interracial marriage, etc.
Right.
So that was why it was particularly troubling that went down. And so these were all conversations that were happening on campus with people who were very actively worried and considering these things and thinking about them deeply and wanting to have those debates. So
Right.
that was the privilege of
It's a
getting to
sort
go.
of a secondary part of your education is not only learning the books, but being around highly intelligent people, and
Exactly.
certainly having those debates, but also making, like in your mind, more connections with people.
Yeah. That's one of among the greatest privileges that I have had in my life was getting to do that and go there. And I feel such immense gratitude that I got to be there for 3 years.
And then, so your first summer you work at Cravath.
I was at a smaller firm my first summer.
Oh, okay.
And
Where? New York?
in Boston.
Okay.
It was an IP litigation firm, intellectual property.
Right.
I know you know. And then my second summer, that's the summer where you're at the firm where you're presumably going to be
Right.
after you graduate.
Right.
And then I was at Cravath. But I
And
switched.
normally that summer is when you get a job offer, right?
I did get a job offer, for the record. I did
Right.
get an offer.
Right. I mean, usually that's the firm that you're going to go to work for
Right.
the next year after you graduate.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So choosing the firm you're going to work for in your second summer is a big deal.
Yes. Completely true.
And you get a job offer and you decide, let me think about this. Or do you take it?
To be frank with you, I took it.
Right.
And I was fully in good faith intending to go back. And then,
Did they give you a signing bonus?
no.
Oh,
They don't
okay.
do that anymore.
Oh, I
They
don't
give
know.
they give you a bonus once you're in the firm, but I didn't get a bonus for
Right.
that. What ended up happening was I had a professor who taught art law litigation when I was in my third year of Harvard. And
An elective,
yeah,
just for anybody out there
An elective.
thinking
That's a
they're
thing.
at Harvard learning.
no, it was a very niche elective
Right.
situation. And he is one of the best litigators in the world. I was so drawn to his practice and built a relationship. And he said,
if you ever want to do something different, if you don't want to do M&A, let's talk. So we did. And he got me an interview at Quinn Emanuel, where I am now. And he has been a mentor to me I work on almost all of his cases.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he at Quinn and Emanuel, or?
He's a partner at Quinn. Yeah. So that's how I got brought in. That's why I switched firms. And we work on everything together.
Quinn and Emanuel is like not a household name, but certainly if you're in the field, you've heard of it. I've heard of them, and I'm not sure why, but they've handled some huge cases. Yeah. Right?
They do. It's all litigation. It's high profile trial work.
Right.
And he has a very fascinating practice. It just runs the gamut from rappers and artists and corporate clients and interesting disputes there. And so he said, interview, see how it goes, and come on in. And so we started working together, and he's been my mentor ever since.
I assume that you did well at Harvard.
I did do well at Harvard, yeah.
And tell me what, I mean, you're sort of there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You always had something ahead of you, like in undergrad, you want to graduate, and you want to take, then you got to take the LSAT. You want to get into law school, and then you get into law school, and then you want to graduate from law school, and you want to get that job, and then there's always something. And now you have the job, you're working. Like, what is next? Like, what is it that like, where do you devise that strategy that you had for meeting people? And
now my goal is it's a lot more open-ended now, I think.
It's more long-term.
It's more long-term. It's a lot, the playing field is a lot more open, whereas before, like you said, okay, it's LSAT, okay, it's grades, okay,
Right.
there's
it's
concrete
2-3
goals.
years, it's yeah.
And now I see it more as, I think it's more fun now, because there's a lot more options.
You're not being graded.
And I
You
think
have an annual evaluation, I take it. Right?
Yeah, but they don't do great on following up with that. I think everyone's too busy.
Right.
I don't really care. Now I think I'm orienting myself. My question is, how can I be the best possible lawyer? That's how I think about it. And how can I seek out the mentors and the experiences, hopefully the trial experience that will make me the best attorney I possibly can be.
Is it all federal work?
No.
It's not all federal work. So you
a lot of state cases.
A lot of state cases. Is no criminal? It's all civil.
They do both. I'm not on criminal cases at the moment. Eventually, I'd like to do some criminal work.
You want to be a litigator.
Yeah.
And when did you decide that? Your second year after?
Yeah, probably my second year. I started. After that summer, I started feeling like this would be something really cool. And I guess what's also open is that's such a broad goal. Okay, I want to be the best lawyer I want to be. I don't know exactly what form that's going to take.
How do you decide whether you're any good?
Can I bring? How am I doing well in these cases? Like,
how do you measure that though? Like,
how satisfied can I? I mean, you win or you lose. And how?
I mean, I'm not at a big firm.
Yeah.
I'm not at a big firm, so I assume that you're not going to court.
So things settle most of the time.
But I mean,
I'm on some trial teams now, but they're probably going to settle.
But a trial team, are you first chair?
It'll be a minute. But
are you arguing motions? Are you doing depositions?
Yes. So the firm is very gracious about that they let you very early on jump in and do those sorts of things because they want you to have the experience so that you can, when they're done, you can still, or they want to slow down, they have a class coming in who's going to do that, who's going to be really good at that work.
Right. How many lawyers?
In our new, it's like 1,000.
And how many associates was your class?
In my class, we have 30 to. That's not true. Say maybe we have 45 people in our
All
class
across the country.
in the New York office.
Oh,
Yeah. There's offices everywhere.
Right.
But the New York office, every office is kind of its own little subculture.
Right.
There's a general
Siloed.
vibe,
Siloed,
of what
yeah.
Quinn Emanuel is. But the New York office is a little siloed. Yeah, we all have our own.
so where do you see yourself in 5 years, or like how do you?
I hope that in 5 years, I would hopefully still like to be at Quinn, and hopefully I'll have built up relationships at the firm with partners that I want to work with. I'm working on interesting cases. I'm solving interesting problems, and I'm helping people. I think that feels the most gratifying to me, is to be able to think through a problem in such a way that you can materially see this improved something for someone. This actually made a difference. Like, we did this for them, and where someone can call me and I will know exactly what to do. I'm going to have the experience then, and I'm growing it now to be able to say, okay, this is what we need to do, and this is how we're going to figure it out.
Is that you shooting for the stars?
Well,
Is that? I mean, is that enough?
if I do it the right way, yeah. But also, who knows? Like, there's hopefully I have a few solid decades ahead of me where I'm figuring these things out, and I want to be so open to any opportunity that comes, and I want to focus on how can I be the best possible lawyer I can be, but I'm also, one day I want to be able to be the best possible wife I can be, and daughter every day, and friend, and mom, and there's a lot of things.
Those are hard to do.
Those are hard to do.
You
Yeah.
have to do all that, especially at Quinn Emanuel. You're how many billable hours do you have a month? About
God.
200 or something like that.
Oh my God. Last month I billed, I want to say 275.
Wow. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah. But it'll be a balance.
Tell me, because we're over our time, but
Okay.
they keep showing the time thing, but it's we have plenty of whatever they call it, storage space. So
Okay.
tell me what it's like to be, you're 26 maybe?
27.
27? And
Thank you, though.
coming to the end of what you call the end, I'm not sure, a 10-year professional career in modeling. I mean, is it the end? Or,
I was in Italy last month.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I shouldn't say that on the.
So why do you say it's the end, and how do you? I mean, it really doesn't matter whether it's the end.
Yeah.
It matters how it matters that you feel like it's coming to an end, right? And tell me what that's like. I mean,
I feel like it's time for something new. I see it as an ending, but I think it served its purpose, and it feels like it's time to be phasing out of that
Really?
era. Yeah, it was great. And if I get a call, so last month I got to go off of the coast of Italy on some little island. It was beautiful, and shoot a campaign for Boji, and it was
Boji is a
Italian
clothing.
Yes, yeah. They're Italian. They're Italian menswear, actually.
Mm-hmm.
They're just now starting to do women's wear.
I was in New York that week, and I went to the Monkey Bar,
Yeah.
and I think there's a Boji store right there
Yeah.
on the corner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd never heard of him, and not that I would, but then
Yeah.
I went in with my friends there, and I was like, hey, there's a Boji store right here.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a Boji store or they just had Boji clothing there, but the Monkey Bar was an amazing place. But
Monkey Bar's great.
so, what is it about you that says I can't keep doing this, other than you think you have to say no?
It's my sense that it served its purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to travel. I paid for my legal education with it and then some. And I feel like I saw what I needed to see.
My dad used to, I don't know if you ever met my dad. I'm sure you did, but
I was little,
yeah,
I think.
my dad used to say the law is a very jealous mistress. And so, it's difficult,
Mm-hmm.
as you know, if you're billing out 275 hours a month,
Yeah.
to have other interests, you know, and you do have to be careful about not over committing, because obviously you can do it, but you know, there's probably more to you than billable hours, right?
I hope so.
But it's a balance.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, how do you manage it?
I don't.
What do you mean you don't? You did it. You've done it forever.
I don't think you should manage it. I mean, and I say this all the time to people that there isn't a balance. You can't have a work-life balance. And maybe you can at a big firm, but I think that when somebody comes in and hires you, and it doesn't matter what, and you tell them, I'm going to be your lawyer, you've immediately given up your right to a work-life balance.
Right.
Right? I mean, isn't that the way you want to feel?
Yeah.
You know, and I sort of resent, I don't know, like if you send an email out and somebody says, well, I'm on vacation, you know, you get the standard.
Totally the bounce back. Yeah.
I'm on vacation, you know, reach out to my secretary, or, you know, or you see lawyers who say, you know, I have other files. Well, okay, you took this case.
Right. And now it's your responsibility.
You told them, you know, you were going to be their lawyer.
Totally.
Right? And I don't think, you know, not only should we not be apologetic for it, but we should understand the great, you know, not only responsibility, but honor we have
Totally.
to walk into court and represent somebody. And so I don't worry about it. Of course, we're at different phases in our professional career where, you know, you should experience, you know, marriage and children, and if that's in your cards, right?
Yeah.
And try and balance it at all, which for you, I don't think, you know, you balance, you know?
Yeah.
You don't have to balance. You can do it all, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. And like, I don't know I haven't met, I don't hope I haven't met my husband yet. But I think, yeah, I mean, that'll be a bridge I cross. And I would like all those things.
Tell me about New York.
Living in New York
Yeah.
Is a playground. It's the best place in the world.
like for the next 10 years at least, I don't want to be anywhere else.
Isn't it a great city?
Oh my God. You love New York too.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I you know, there's so many good places to eat. There's so much going on, and so many young people.
Yeah.
A lot of Michigan State people.
It's a good time.
When Maggie was there, I was so surprised that there was so many, you know, she had so many friends, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's the best. If you're an ambitious young person and you want to build something and you want to create something, there's no better, you know that you're not going to have a better network and community of
You
people.
live with your sister?
I live with my twin.
And does she do painting in the house, or does she have a studio?
We have a big loft area that's kind of
Okay.
hangs above our living room space, and she paints up there. She has her first show. You should come. She has her first show in January.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I thought I saw something that looked like a show.
She had a small group show a couple weeks ago. You
Oh,
probably
was it?
saw that. But she has her own solo show at a gallery in January. It's all her stuff.
So I got to ask you a question.
Yeah.
What was it like to meet the Pope?
I thought I was going to vomit. I was
Really?
so nervous.
Are you Catholic?
No.
Yeah. Are you religious?
I believe in God.
Spiritual? Or
I
something?
I hate people say spiritual because like, what the hell do you mean?
Yeah.
I believe in God, and yeah,
You
Yeah,
believe in
same.
God, but like you're not invested in.
And
You don't
I-
read the Bible, or you don't go to church. Or do
I
you?
I practices. I pray every
okay.
day. I do have a strong sense of faith, and I try to live it. I try to walk it as best as I can, better some days than others.
Is it Catholic?
I don't consider myself to be a Catholic
Oh, good,
at all.
good. But you get a chance to meet the Pope.
I
right?
did. Yeah, I did meet the Pope.
And tell me what that was like.
We were at the Vatican,
Mhm.
and we got to tour. This was with an ex, who I hope is doing well. We got to tour the Vatican, and
Right.
he rented us out a space in the morning so we could go through just by ourselves with a tour guide and
Right.
just see everything with no one there.
Right.
And it sounds so out of touch, but it was great. It was a great day. And then they said the Pope might be able to see you. And we said, okay, awesome. So I think actually what happened that day was I had to fly to Milan because I was shooting for, doesn't matter, I had to go to Milan to shoot.
Right.
And then they texted my, at the time, boyfriend and said, he might be able to see you. Would you come back? Like, yeah. We'll be there in 2 seconds.
Right.
So we flew back. That's right, Mr. Yeah, so we saw the Vatican. I had to fly to Milan. And then they said, okay, you can see him. So we came back. And they had us in a waiting room area. And then he walked in and he took a seat and we were sitting around him. And I said, what do I call him? I said, Holy Father. I said, okay, hi, Holy Father. It was so surreal. And he could sense that everyone was so insanely nervous because we were. And so he tried to break the ice by asking us like if we'd seen the soccer game. His English wasn't great. So we had a translator. And
It's the current Pope, right?
no, it was the
previous.
Pope who passed.
Yeah.
But he could sense we were nervous, and so he tried to break the ice by saying he'd watched the soccer game and had we seen it, and then everyone's just kind of,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
He's trying to make us
And
comfortable.
what language was he speaking?
Italian.
Italian.
Yeah.
And you don't speak any Italian.
No.
And so for somebody like you, who at least today you're saying meeting people is making connections is important. I mean,
He was a good connection.
was he?
And he was also gracious, and he gave me he talked with us. He was willing to speak with us for quite a while that morning, and we took photos with him, and he gave me a coin that I still have.
Mhm.
And it was a hell of a day.
Did you
No pun.
ask him when he's going to allow nuns to give sermons and
I didn't get around to it.
Priest
I didn't get around
priest,
to
you
it.
wanted your chance to advocate.
It felt like I
Your
could have been an
chance to
advocate. I know
advocate for civil
I'm
rights.
talking all this game about being an advocate and wanting to be a great attorney, and yet I didn't ask him the real questions. I didn't have
Yeah.
the balls that day.
I say everything is personal.
Everything is personal.
Everything is personal, and if you
Yeah.
can't make it personal, then maybe you're in the wrong profession, right?
I think that's right.
Everything is personal,
Yeah, it is. And someone's trusting you deeply that you're going to care for them and that you're going to do whatever you can to help and be there. And that's why it feels deeply personal. I think
Yeah,
everything is
good.
personal.
Good. You need that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You probably work harder on that case.
Absolutely. I work hard on that case.
Yeah. Well, you probably work hard on all.
I work
of them.
hard on all the cases for the record.
Well, this has been great.
It's been great.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
It's
it
been
was
wonderful.
amazing.
Yeah.